Welcome back to the Boot Tragedies. Like I said in my last video, after the Saints signed Nick Martin, there would be a lot of moves once training camp started, and I'm here to report on some more. Saints did sign running back Malcolm Brown. A lot of you may remember him from the Rams. He played with the Rams for a couple years, actually for 6 years. He was actually there last year. They were in St. Louis. Then he played for Miami last year. He's been a rotational back his entire career, all 7 years of his career. He's coming into year 8. And I think this is a solid signing for the Saints. It's not going to be anything crazy. He's not going to come in and start. He's probably not even going to come in and play, if we're being honest. But it is a depth signing at running back. He's probably going to be a camp body / a preseason body. And then if Alvin Kamara gets suspended, he may have a chance to, make the team and just be a rotational player for those couple of weeks that Alvin Kamara's gone. But I do like Malcolm Brown. His best year was with the Rams in 2020. He just kind of got lost in the shuffle because they added Darrell Henderson, Cam Akers. They had a lot of guys, so he was just no longer needed there. But he is a career 4 yards per carry guy, which is pretty solid, pretty good. Like I said, he's been a rotational back. The season with the Rams in 2020, he did have 419 rushing yards, averaged 4.1 yards per carries, and with 5 touchdowns to go along with that, and had 23 catches for 162 yards, that's a pretty solid year for a rotational guy, man. Like I said, he won't be anything amazing. He's a depth signing. Maybe a camp signing. I don't see him making a real spark on his team. But he is a solid player. Is a solid rotational back. That's just the best case scenario for him. Also, the Saints signed Scott Patchan. He's a defensive end. He went undrafted in this past year draft. He did sign with the Colts out of undrafted free agency, but now he's with the Saints. The Colts waived him, and the Saints have picked him up. He's an older guy. He was a very, very older guy in the draft. He played for Miami for 4 years and then went to Colorado State for 2 years because they got an extra year because of COVID. He redshirted, all type of things. So he's a 25-year-old rookie. He was pretty solid in college for Colorado State in his last year at Miami, so he has some potential there. But let's be honest, you're not making this team as a defensive end. For the Saints, that's just a camp body. Maybe he's going to have a chance to make the practice squad. I honestly don't even see him doing that just because defensive end in the Saints, you don't want to come here if you're a defensive end. I mean, it's the only offer you got. Hey, didn't take it, but you're probably just going to be a camp body, a preseason body, while these guys like Peyton Turner, Davenport, Cam Jordan, they're all going to be rested and getting healthy throughout this preseason and training camp. So he's probably just going to be a body to rotate in while those guys are healing up, those guys are resting and things like that. So he really won't make an impact on this team. We all know that. But, we can kind of go over some of his stats. In Miami, his last year at Miami, he had 6 sacks in 2019. Then in 2020 for Colorado State, he had 7.5 sacks. And then in 2021, last year, he finished with 11.5 sacks and also 19.5 tackles for loss. So I think that's a really good season for him. Like I said, he was kind of on the older side. He was 24 his last year in college. So we'll see what he can do, man. Hopefully he comes in and he competes. That's all we really can ask for. Make our offensive line better, but it's really no future for him on this team. Also with the Saints, signing those 3 players, Nick Martin, Malcolm Brown, and Scott Patchan, we had to cut some players. Nothing major here, but we did cut punter Daniel Whelan. He was cut. Offensive lineman Derek Schwager, and then cornerback Jordan Miller. None of those things are going to affect the Saints long term. Like I said, it's going to be a lot of rotation in and out. Guys coming in for a week, then leaving. Guys coming in for a couple of days, tryouts in many positions. Guys being signed for 1 day, cut the next. That's just kind of how this goes, especially early on until they want to get that final 90-man roster set. It's going to be a lot of guys rotating in and out over the next couple of days, next couple of weeks. So we just kind of have to just go with it. Nothing major is probably going to happen, but if something does, I'll definitely be here to report on it. And as always, this is DaBoot Tragedies, and I'm out. Hey, yo, click that subscribe button, man. Turn those notifications on, and you won't miss another video from DaBoot Tragedies.
So one last time, let's make it the greatest